Okay, what we got here is a brand new WordPress blog. So what you want to do is at the top of the site, you want to go ahead and go past your domain name and add in WP-admin. And that will get you to the login page. Okay, let me bring that back up. Type in your username and password and log into your back end. Okay, now this is a brand new fresh one, so we haven't done anything with this yet. What we want to do first is we want to go ahead and let's just change the look a little bit. We can go to Appearance, and when that loads, we click on Themes and install themes. So we can change the theme to just about anything we want. There's 56 pages of themes. If we just click Search, it'll show us all the themes, and you can scroll down and see different themes here. And what you're looking at is the look of the theme, not so much the content. I mean, obviously, you're not going to put the same content in, but you like this one because it's a zombie and you're doing a Hollywood theme, or you're doing a Christmas theme, or whatever the case is. You kind of look at them and go, yeah, I'm not sure which one I want. But it's as simple as, we'll pick one here real quick. Um, let's change our theme to, let's pick something that's relatively easy. That's nice. Okay, this one's okay. So we click Install, Install Now, Activate. Now, I like working in more than one tab. So if you right click on this up here at the top and click Open a New Tab, you'll see a second tab open. This is your web page. See how it's changed now? Simple as that. Okay, if you don't like it, you go, I don't really like it. Let's go back to the old one. Click Activate. It's already in there. Let's go back here, hit refresh, and we're back. Okay, so let's stick with the one that we have. This one has some options. Here's your header, which is that little image at the top. We can upload our own image up to 940 by 198 pixels wide, or we can choose one from here. Let's go ahead and choose, I don't know, let's just choose this one here. Okay, and save changes. Go here, let's refresh so we can see what we're doing. And our image changed. Okay, and there's other things. You can edit the background, all kinds of, it makes a color. Let's say we want to pick a color. We want the background to be blue, and blue. So there's our choice. Save changes. Refresh again, and this is our background's changed to blue on this one. Now we got to add content. We want to add pages. So our first page we're going to add is, we're going to delete. This is all default stuff. Let's just delete that and start fresh. We're going to trash that. Okay, we're going to add a new page, and this page we'll call it vendors, because we're going to make a whole section all about vendors. Okay, and this one we'll just, for now, we can always update and add stuff, but we're going to add in, here is a list of vendors. Okay, and we'll publish that page. If I refresh this, see how it says home and about? It's going to change. About will disappear, and it'll say vendors, because that's the page we created. If I click on that, it takes me to the page about vendors. I am ahead of myself a little bit. Let's back up just a little bit. Now you know how to create a page. We want to go into settings. We want to change a few things. First off, Riverside County Bridal Association. That's your tagline, where it says just another WordPress site. You can change that. Call us at 800-200-9935. I don't like people to register. My sites are not necessarily set for people to make comments. So I changed my time zone to Los Angeles. I don't know what that does, but I just do it. Change my tagline. My site title is the way that I actually want it. So I'll save these changes. Then, and this one's actually really important, under discussion, I take out all these. I don't want people making any comments. This is not a comment type site. And other than, I check all these to say that anything that happens to slip through, I want to approve it or not. So I just check all that stuff and I save my changes. If we look at the page now, it's going to change. Well, actually, we're logged in, so we can leave and edit, but we don't want to do that. So when our future pages that we make, you won't be able to make any comments, or customers won't be able to make any comments on the pages. Permalinks. This is the way the page appears. Right now, scroll down a little bit. The address of this page is riversidecounty.bridalassociation.com/?page ID equals 5. That doesn't do anything for us for our Google optimization. So we're going to change our permalinks, which is the structure, to a custom structure, and we want it to be slash percent postname percent slash. And what that does is every time we make a page, it'll change it to whatever our title is, so that title will get indexed by Google. So let's actually go back to our page that we created. I'm going to go ahead and click edit and see if it updates. If it doesn't, we'll just see it updated. riversidecounty.bridalassociation.com/vendors. So now Google will know that's about vendors. That's not great because it's not real indexable, but it's better than _/5. What we want to do is, this is going to where in my case, this is where I'm going to list all my different category of vendors. So let's say disc jockey, invitations. Okay, this is where I'm going to make a link to all the disc jockeys, a link to all the invitations. If I update, right now those are just words. If I update the page and then I refresh, disc jockeys and invitations. Okay, now there's also a thing called plugins, but we'll get to that in a second here. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go to plugins now. Plugins are other things that you can do. Like, one of the things that we want to add is, I like all-in-one SEO. Like you see there, these are things that you can add to your site that will add functions to it. So here is, we want to find all-in-one SEO pack, install it, activate plugin. What that plugin does is it means that I can now, when I gotta go to the admin page, activate it. Okay, we want to enable this. Now I can have a title, Riverside Weddings. I would go in and do more, but right now we're just going to keep it short. That's the title and the description for the home page. Find all your wedding needs here. One thing I recommend is always putting your phone number in your title tag. The less somebody has to look for you, the more likely they are to call you. You can put some keywords in here, comma separated. That's more for other websites, not Google. Google doesn't really use those. But we hit update. Now we've added an SEO package that when we go to our pages, let's click edit again. Scroll down. You'll see it says click here for, this is SEO. So I can do a specific SEO here because it says vendors and vendors doesn't index really well. So we're going to call this one find all your wedding experts for the Riverside County, or for Riverside County. I'm going to see why. Here, you want to keep this to less than 60 characters because that's what you'll see on search engines, and it actually counts your characters there. And then a description here. This is what shows up on Google. This is actually what Google reads. To give you an example, let's go to Google real quick here and look up Good Time Entertainment. Okay, well there it is. This is the actual title tag. That's the stuff that was written in the title tag. This is the stuff that was written in the description. So this is what people are reading. If you put silly stuff like home, about, that's what you see a lot of people show up. Nobody clicks on it. But here, they don't even have to look for me to call me. My number's right there. They also know I'm a professional disc jockey, entertainment services, so on and so forth, right there from the title tag. And that's what Google's indexing. In fact, here's what indexing will do for you. I put this just for fun. World class DJ. Oh yeah, who's number one world class DJ? I am. Because I put that in my title tag, and I'm the only one who actually did that. There's worldclassdj.com, and I'm above him. But that's how important title tags are. Google looks at that for what they're indexing the page for. Okay, so back to our page. Title, I don't really have one right now. I would write it out in advance. and you update. When we look at the page now and refresh our vendor page, if I bring this down a little bit, you'll see this is our title tag right here. Find all your wedding experts for Riverside County here. It shows up there. When Google actually starts indexing this page, it'll show up there. So it's really very helpful in the indexing of your site. You want the words that people search, not so much the words that you want in there. You want, if somebody's going to search Riverside County, then that's what you want in there. If they're going to search wedding professional, they probably won't. They'll probably search wedding vendor. So wedding vendors is what people search. That's what you want to be searchable for. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create a sub page real quick. So we're going to add a new page about disc jockeys. So we're going to call this one disc jockeys. Okay, but we want that one to show up underneath vendors. So right over here you have your parent. My parent is vendors. Here we'll say, here is all our DJs, and I will list my DJs there. Good time, free style, etc. Okay, and I can go down here, down to my SEO again, and add in, let's pick some cities in Riverside. And on the top of my head, I don't really know, but wedding DJs for Riverside and San Bernardino. Okay, or whatever. Okay, so we're adding the title tag to it. Now let's publish, which is mean create the page. Okay, now that page is created. Let's go back and look at our site. If I go back to our home page, you'll see vendors, disc jockeys. So that's actually going to take us to our disc jockey page, which I misspelled, but I'm trying to do this quickly. So now we've got a page all about our disc jockeys. Now let's go ahead and create an actual DJ page for one of our members. Good time entertainment. Okay, that parent is going to be disc jockeys. We're just creating levels here. Call me, I am awesome. But we want more than just words on our site. So let's go ahead and add a picture to this one. Right here, if you mouse over, it says add an image. You click on that, and it will take you, you can select file, it'll take you to your computer, and you would pick a file, an image. So let's go ahead and find an image for Good Time Entertainment. Okay, let's see here. Look at my thumbnails. Find my logo. Yeah, there we go. That will just do this ad. Okay, that's a JPEG. So we'll hit open. It's loading it right in the system. Now, I have a choice. How big do I want this? Do I want a thumbnail, which you never really want because then it cuts it into a square like this and doesn't show the whole image. Do I want it medium, large, full size? Do I want it left justified, centered, right, around the words? You see the little graphic here around the words. You can do that. So I want this one medium size, and I want it on the left of the words. So insert into post. Now I'm going to show you some mistakes that we have here, but we'll come back to it. So there it is. Now on this part here, what it does is it puts the words, see, so you have your words next to it. Under old circumstances, it would put one set of words there, and then the next line would be down here, and it kind of wastes all the space. But you can also change the size of this image. If you click on the image, grab that, let's make it a little bigger. Or you can click on edit or delete. We're going to edit this image because right now, let's publish the page first, and then we'll come back. I'll show you why. We publish it. Let's go back to our website. Okay, let's refresh. Right now, we haven't set any links yet. Vendors, disc jockeys, Good Time Entertainment. There's our page. If I mouse over it, it says quarter page ad. Again, we're talking about SEO, search engine optimization. Nobody's ever going to search quarter page ad. So let's go back to our image. Here, let's edit our image. Click on edit. Now it shows us our words are here, our left justified. We're going to edit the title. Riverside Wedding DJ. Now I can also add a caption around it. So a caption could be 1-800-200-9935. So I put my phone number, and I don't want the link. I can have this link to my website if I leave what's there. And actually, let's go ahead and leave what's there for a moment. Update. Now you see it's got my phone number around it. It's got a little border. Let's update the page. What that link does, let's go ahead and refresh the page real quick. So you got the little border around it and the phone number. If I click on the image, right now it says Riverside Wedding DJ. That link URL took me to just a bigger image of that image. It didn't really do us any good. I don't really want to see a bigger image of it. Let's change that. I want that. Click on the link, edit. Now we're going to take this one out, and I want to put in my website. So here's my website, http://www.goodtime.ca. Update. Now I'm making that image link to my website. So once it's done updating, let's go back, refresh. It'll take a second to refresh. Now if I mouse over it, you'll see it links right to my DJ website. Just like that. So it takes them where I want to take them. Also, if I mouse over it and leave my mouse, it says Riverside Wedding DJ instead of image, GT image logo. Okay. Also, you see that there's no way for them to make comments down here. This is now just a page. Okay, so that's how you create the pages. Now, this page doesn't do us any good if they can't link to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the whole address, which happens to be riversidecounty-bridal-association.com/vendors/discjockey/goodtimeentertainment. So all that stuff gets indexed by Google. I'm copying that URL. I'm going to go back over here, and I want to go back to my page about disc jockeys. Okay, I want to edit this page because I want the link. I'm sorry, under vendors. I want the link for Good Time to link to me, to my page. So I highlight that, click the little link button. It says Insert Edit Link. Paste that right in there. Now you have a choice. I can have it open in the same window, so which means when you click on it, it reloads the page with the new page, or open it in a new window. In this case, because it's the same website, I want to open in the same window. I can have a title saying World Class DJ, and insert. So now it's a link. We'll update the page. Let's go back and look at that page. Home, disc jockeys. It's a link. World Class DJ. Click on that. Takes you to my page. Now let's go back a page real quick here. Let's go back to this page. This page, obviously, unless they go this way, can't get to it. We want to make it actually clickable from here. So we do the same thing. We click on it. We get to the page for disc jockeys. We copy the address. Riverside County Bridal Association/vendor/disc jockey. And then we go back here to our page, and we go to that page that we want to edit. Okay, which is the vendor page. Click on Vendors, Edit, highlight disc jockey, click on Link, paste our link in there. We want this to open up in the same window. Insert. Now, there's a lot of other things you can do. Obviously, just clicking on disc jockey might not be fun. Maybe we want to make that an image that's clickable, like we did on the disc jockey page. You can do it in image, you can do an image and words, whatever the case is. You can do that. If for some reason, see how the space between here, you really don't have a way of getting rid of that. You do if you click on HTML versus visual. See, you'll see that there's still a space. Delete, go back to visual. Now they're next to each other. So you can actually click on HTML and work in the HTML form of this if you know HTML. And do a little bit more. So there you go. And I want to highlight that. I want this to be bold. And you click bold. You also, right here, has more options. Show, hide the whole kitchen sink, they call it. So now you have paragraph, underline, justified. You can change the color of the words. Make this red. You can, all kinds of stuff you can do. And just hit update. The reason I work in two windows is I like to see what I'm doing. So I click here. Actually, I wasn't working on that page. I was working on the vendor page. Here's the list of our vendors. Disc jockey, invitations. So you got that. So that's how you do that stuff as far as creating pages and adding content. You just add it right in here. By the way, right here, You see 3 little lines. You can grab this and have a little more space to work in. Okay. Now, next thing on here is all this stuff here. These are called widgets. So let's go back to our appearance. Click on widgets. We're going to start off by just cleaning up this thing and taking out all these widgets. You just grab it, drag it right down here to inactive. Recent comments. I just getting rid of everything. Archives. These are all just stuff that I don't really use. Archive, meta. And I'll even get rid of search for the moment just to clean it out. Actually, we'll leave that. Okay, that you don't even have to update. Once you drag it out there, it's gone. All you just have to do is refresh your page. Boom, gone. What the search does, by the way, is I'm on the home page. Let's go to the home page. It searches your website. I'm looking for awesome. Search awesome. Oh, I came up. So it's searching the website itself for keywords that you've put in there. I can search good time. I can search DJ. If I search DJ, multiple pages obviously will come up. Good time, the disc jockey page. Here's all, So the search is kind of a nice one to have on there. Widgets, other widgets, you've got text. Text means you can put over here code. Let's see, what do we want to put over here? Maybe you want to create a page, links to the Bridal Association showing the logo. You go bracket A href equals, or your other websites. Let's do a website to the best weddings, to our other bridal association. http://www.thebestweddings.com, and then you got the actual. This here is the URL. Now this right here that we're going to write is the text. Wedding. Actually, we'll call it a KCBA. KCBA. Then bracket /A. That means this is the end of that. Now we'll leave it at that for the moment. Hit save. Go back here, refresh. You'll see that now we have KCBA there. It can be an image. It can be a link. It links right to our website. Now back to search engine optimization. Right here, after that quotation mark, space, title equals Bakersfield, RSFIELD, wedding. Now that means that Google's going to associate this link and these words with Bakersfield wedding. So if I update, I click save, refresh, doesn't look any different, but if I mouse over it, Bakersfield weddings. So it's associating that. Okay, you can add all kinds of things here. Now, one thing that we want to kind of be careful of, as you start building, you got this and you got all these pages. If you keep adding pages, it's going to keep adding to this and next line and next line. Some stuff you don't necessarily want in your menu up here. Like let's say we're going to create a contact page. Before we do that, we're going to add a couple of plugins. Okay, instead of giving out your email address or anything like that, the first plugin we're going to add is called Simply Hide. What that does is it simply hides pages. So we're going to add this real quick, and it's kind of a background plugin. So we'll just click OK, install it, activate. Okay, now we're going to add one more plugin called Contact Form. Form 7. This is a pretty easy to use contact form. It's just there's so many different ones here that you got to find the right one. Contact form 7. There it is. Okay, so we're going to activate this. This is how you can make different forms for your website. Okay, activate. Now we click on contact down here. And this one right now says your name, your email, your subject, your message. But we can add other things by hitting generate tag. And we want to add maybe a drop down. We want to call this wedding year or event year or whatever. We'll call it wedding year. It makes it one word, by the way, because that's your title. And then you've got your choices. January, February, March, April, May, June. Oops. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, so on and so forth. These are my choices. They can be words, they can be whatever you want. Okay, and you can allow multiple selections if you want, and you can insert a blank line. But once you do that, it updates right here, and this is what you want to take and copy and paste. Where do you want this on your site? You want it right here, right? Let's say just under your email. Paste it in. This is just the selection. There's no words before it, so let's put event month. That's my question. Now this is actually what you see is what you get, so you don't have to have all the P's and the BRs and stuff like that. This will show up exactly like this, event month, boom, and it'll show up. The P stands for paragraph, which gives you a line break between these. This is what is seen on the website. This is what's gotten to you in an email. Okay, Bridal Association at gmail.com. So I want their wedding year to show up in my email. So I put that right there. It tells me that this information is going to show up in my email, and I can send them an email if I like. If I select that, I don't want to select that right now. Make this simple. Okay, so this is the stuff for the contact form. We'll hit save. This is the code I want to use. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, Control C, and let's go ahead and create a page called contact. Okay, so we'll add a whole new page. Okay, and we'll just pop that code right there, just like that. For now, we're not going to do any parents or anything like that. We're just going to publish it just the way it is. Okay, so if I refresh, it's going to show up right here, or right there actually, contact. If I click on contact, there's my form and event month right there, see? And I can hit submit at the bottom. Now, and it'll come right to me. But let's say I don't want this right here because I'm going to have home, vendors, bridal shows, tickets, stuff here, but contact doesn't really need to be there. I'm going to copy that page. I'm going to add that to our widget. Oh, actually, click on dash appearance widgets. Oops, appearance widgets. Click on text. We're going to add that right here. href equals, and pass that right in there and put the word contact us. And we'll save it. Right now it'll be on both places. I'll show you what the hide is for in a second. Okay, so refresh. Contact us. Now I don't have a line break in there, so it's not going to show. If I go right here, bracket, BR, bracket stands for line break. Let's do that so you can see the difference. Refresh. Next line. Now, I can put a P instead of BR, and that's a paragraph. And there should be more space there, but there we go. Yeah, there was a little more space. Okay, but also if you noticed, it said title. This is just a title. Let's put INFORMATION, information. Okay, so you can actually grab more than one text and put it over there. And let's do this. See, information, KCBA. So instead of having everything in one text form, let's copy this out. Delete. Okay, and just save and close. And let's grab another text box. Put that right there. And this one we'll call fun. And we're just going to paste that in there now. So they're kind of like menu titles in a way. Information, fun, whatever. But it's all right there, and you can keep adding stuff, and you can move things around. It's like, oh, I didn't want that there. I wanted that above. That. I want this. I want the contact above. So I'll move that up. Oops. Like that. Refresh the page. There it is. Okay, now, again, we didn't want this here because we're going to have other things that are more important here, but we have so many pages we want it over on the side. So we're going to go back to that page, pages, click on contact. Now we're going to go down a little bit here under custom fields. We're going to type in hide. Now once you do this, it'll be there from then on. You won't have to type in hide. It'll be one of your options. The value is a 1. Add the custom field. Done. Now, if I update and I go over here and I refresh, it's gone. So now I only have the things up here that I really want. But I put it over here so that it's still available as a link. And that's how you do the basic stuff. There's more plugins. You can just search, you can click on plugins, and there's thousands of plugins. You can just click on add new, featured, and these are some of the most popular ones. BuddyPress and stuff like that. You can click on popular and find out what the most popular ones are. All-in-one SEO pack. Backup. Sexy bookmarks is actually kind of cool. That's a little more complicated, but what it basically does, I'll take you to another site. San Luis Obispo Bridal Association. This one's been worked on. And what it does is, if you go down to the towards the bottom of a page, any page, there's the bookmarks. I can share this with Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, LinkedIn, email it to a friend feed. You have all these choices of ways that you can share, or your customer can share this page with anybody they want to share it with. Here's our widgets, here's our search our site, here's our logo, here's a link to a registration form. This tells you that you can see it on an iPhone, which we can install that plugin. You just type in iPhone. Thousands of plugins to choose. Now, last but not least, in this session, I have to wait. Is we don't want our homepage to keep changing. Every time we do a blog or a posting, it'll change. We don't want to do that. We want to have a static homepage. So let's go ahead and create a page, and we'll call it the welcome page just for fun. Add new. Okay, and welcome to our site. Add images, add content, whatever, and we want to hide this page. It sounds weird, but we want to hide it. So select hide. Our value's 1, and publish. Okay. Now, right now, this page will not exist anywhere because it's hidden. So I refresh and it's not there. But what we're going to do is under settings, we're going to click on reading. Now it says front page display. We want a static page. We want the front page to be welcome. We can have it any page we want. We can select vendors, disc jockeys, contracts, whatever. So if you have a special, you can actually make that, and then later on just change the page instead of having to create it and upload it. Save changes. Go here. Let's refresh our page. There. That's our static home page now. That's basically it. That's how you work on your WordPress site.